2 News at 10 begins now.
Breaking news at this hour, one person was killed after colliding with an old military vehicle on Highway 2 this evening. Traffic was backed up for several hours, but lanes in both directions are back open now. It happened just east of Fairchild Air Force Base in the westbound lanes. We're told the driver of that smaller car pulled out in front of the military truck, and the truck wasn't able to stop in time. Good evening, everyone. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark and Regina are off tonight. In that breaking news, police also told us even though that truck looks like it may have come from Fairchild because it did happen close to the base, we're told it was a privately owned truck driven by a private citizen. Investigators tell us tonight that driver from that military truck is expected to be okay. And again, traffic there in the Airway Heights area is moving in both directions tonight. In other breaking news, this just in a few moments ago, Dr. Bob Lutz, the former health officer here in Spokane County, has now been hired. He is the newest member of the Washington State COVID response team. The Department of Health says he accepted an offer to work for them earlier this week. We'll have more on that story coming up tomorrow on KREM 2 News. Also new tonight, 11 more Grant County residents have died from COVID-19. 10 are connected to long-term care facilities, and those have actually been first reported on starting on November 30th. We're told all of the people who have most recently passed away did have underlying health conditions. We are also learning that nearly 50 COVID cases are tied to that large super spreader wedding that was held in RITZVILLE last month. There have also been 11 confirmed cases in 2 additional counties in the state from that same event.
The reality of it is, as far as cleanliness goes, you have 70, 80 inmates trying to use one toilet if the toilet's working.
So you just heard he is an inmate at Airway Heights Correction Center. He's describing the conditions inside the prison there as coronavirus cases continue to surge. We want to head over now to the big wall just to talk about this latest update, because one thing we do know now is the prisoner that you just heard from is actually one of hundreds who have now been tested positive for the virus just in the last week or so. So as of tonight, 43 more inmates have tested positive at Airway Heights Correction Center. Since the 30th of November, 775 inmates have all tested positive. Right now, 22 inmates are being cared for in what is called the Regional Healthcare Facility, but the maximum at that facility is just 30 inmates. There are also other outbreaks across the state. Coyote Ridge, for example, in Connell has 388 cases total, 2 deaths. Spokane County Jail reported 1 new case and 3 staffers who have also tested positive. Geiger Community Corrections Center, also out in Airway Heights, now has 84 new cases, along with 8 staff who have tested positive for the coronavirus. And as Spokane County Jail scrambled to get a hold on these rising case numbers, local activists are speaking out about the prison conditions. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has more on that tonight.
The health and safety of inmates is a serious concern as COVID continues to spread throughout the region. Today, I spoke with a local activist who talked with me about these conditions and what it is that inmates may be experiencing.
Maybe we need to reach out to somebody because obviously our people inside don't have the same liberty that we do out here.
Jermaine Williams has dedicated his life to advocating for social justice and equal rights.
A lot of the people inside of prisons and jails, they're perceived with a negative connotation. So what do you think it is that needs to be done to let people know about the conditions that they're going through?
His brother lives inside of the Airway Heights Correction Center. He's been tested for COVID, but is unaware of the results. Jermaine has kept in touch with him through emails about his experience.
He said, so I don't know what their plan is going forward. I have to do what I have to do in order to survive this outbreak.
All of the inmates are currently isolated. As more cases rise in the facility, they're stuck in their rooms. It's not only the center in Airway Heights dealing with outbreaks. Other facilities in Spokane County are trying to figure out how to get a grip on COVID spread themselves. Spokane County Detention Services will hold a press conference on Friday to discuss their plans of limiting COVID in their systems. As of today, 85 positive cases exist between Geiger Corrections and the Spokane County Jail. 8 employees have also tested positive for the virus. Joining officials from Detention Services will be the Spokane Regional Health District.
All of the things that an individual would normally be able to do as far as having healthy outlets have now been taken away.
People like Jermaine tell me that now more than ever is the time to speak up about conditions inside a prison. He's afraid that if people don't use their voice, then COVID will continue to spread among inmates. From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
In the meantime, the Spokane Regional Health District has reported 213 new COVID cases today. There are 2 new deaths as well, bringing the total number now to 297. 132 people are hospitalized as of tonight. We know about 61% of people who have had the virus have recovered. Today's data, though, does not include positive cases from that Airway Heights Correction Center outbreak. Spokane health officials say those positive cases will be included, though, in the total counts here over the next few days. They also say they do expect to see increased positive cases with increased testing right now, especially with the new CHAZ testing site out at the Spokane Arena. Investigators for the health department are also linking increased cases to in-home gatherings from over the Thanksgiving holiday. All right, we want to take a break from the COVID headlines and get to weather now, because there is a winter weather advisory that has now been issued for Spokane. It starts early tomorrow morning, which Thomas Patrick is in tonight and talking about this snow. That's about when the snow is going to start to fly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this actually will be the first snow of the month of December, believe it or not, because we've had the snow in October and November. Now we'll get our first taste of snow for this month, and it won't be our only snow chances. Before we get to that, just issued as of the top of the hour a dense fog advisory for parts of the Palouse and the Lewiston area. Those are the gray shaded counties, most of Whitman County included in that. We'll take you down to Colfax, where you can see the dense fog in the headlights there. Visibility is being reported down to about a quarter of a mile. In fact, it's at 0 in Pullman. In fact, the camera down there at the airport you can barely even see the one headlight that is in the camera shot there as well. So extremely dense fog through about 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Then we'll start to turn our attention to the snow. This will be a Friday morning commute issue across Spokane and most of eastern Washington. That's the winter weather advisory from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow. The snow starts to build in across northern Washington, areas of the Palouse at first, and then pushing into Spokane around 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning. Probably only about 1 to 2 inches of snow just to end the week here, but it's the first of what could be 3 rounds of snowfall for the area in just the next 7 days. So I'm going to cover how much snow may be possible in each wave, each storm system that does hit the inland northwest.
All right, looking forward to hearing all about it, Thomas. Thank you. Still ahead tonight, no 2020 Apple Cup. Chances of the big in-state rivalry game are being rescheduled. Just keep going down. We'll have more on that, plus the newest information on Washington's vaccine distribution plan.